On this episode of That's Montana, we're going to focus on the youth of the state, in particular, young girls who are studying math, science, and technology. We focus on them at an event called Chicks and Science at the Montana State University Billings campus. Here's organizer Kim Schweikert to tell us all about it. Kim, fourth year for an event called Chicks and Science. Give us a history lesson. What is it and where did it come from?
Chicks and Science started 4 years ago with a woman named Stephanie Morrison. She's a 24-year-old who had her PhD in physics from Notre Dame. And she walked into our office and said, I have an idea for a thing where we celebrate girls and being smart. So it's kind of bling meets science, because research was showing that 4th through 8th grade girls were losing interest in science by the time they were in the 8th grade. So this was an event that would say, let's celebrate being a girl in this time when being fashionable and cute is the thing, but be smart at the same time and make your life great through science. You can change the world. So that's where it started. The first year we were hoping for 10 booths and wished that 100 girls would show up, and we did 30 booths and had about 800 show up. So, and it has grown every year.
What happens when girls come to this? Give us kind of a walkthrough.
When girls come to this, it is crazy. It's an extravaganza. They come in as groups sometimes. They come in from everywhere. They come in as individuals. They come in with their moms. They come in with their dads. And they go booth to booth, and they do hands-on, minds-on activities. So every single booth here has an activity for the girls, and everything is free. So they will do anything from meet an owl to get a free manicure because we're girls. They might eat chocolate at one booth and then go and make solids out of liquids by using vibration at another. So it's just, they just go from one booth to the next and do one fun activity after the other.
Kim, just a couple of weeks ago, the First Lady of the state of Montana, Nancy Schweitzer, gave you a pretty special award.
Well, actually, she gave Chicks and Science a very special award, and since I'm the face of the organization, I went and was able to accept it. She gives math and science awards every year. The governor and Mrs. Schweitzer have a math science initiative to keep kids passionate about science, and so she recognizes people around the state who do activities for kids that promote that. And we were really honored to get it, and I got to go to the Capitol and speak with her and talk to the group there about it. So it was a lot of fun.
What are some of the awards? I see you've got all kinds of things sitting around.
We do a number of things. The first 500 girls that come and pre-register for the event that are in the 4th through 8th grade get a bag full of chick stuff. And it'll have a t-shirt and dog tags like this and bracelets and just girl things. And then we give door prizes at the end, and these door prizes are supplied by our sponsors. And we have everything, we give away things that mostly have an educational tilt to them. Some of them are a little feminine, but we're giving away telescopes and Nooks and Kindles, lots of fun things this year.
Kim, what does the community wind up by having girls come to this event and the involvement?
That's what's so extraordinary about this event. It is not just for the girls, although it's focused on the girls, and the girls walk away with hopefully an inspiration to pursue their passion that they already have for science. But what we've found over the years is that it also serves as a great inspiration for the professionals in our community who work at these companies who do these booths. You'll have people from ExxonMobil and CTA architects, engineers, and their people come together every year and put together these fabulous activities for the girls to do. And as they're walking out the door tonight, just tired as they can be, they'll already be planning next year. So it just doesn't inspire the kids, but it also inspires our professionals to be creative and think about the future. It also gives the parents a great opportunity to spend a day with their child, encouraging them to do something positive. So we have found that it just benefits so many different people. It's much more than the girls.
You said one of the growth areas in this event has been revolved around the Career Center.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Oh, the Career Center is just absolutely amazing. The first year they came, they did like a 20-foot booth, and they brought a few kids and they did some events. And the next year, I tell you what, those kids were so inspired. They came back the next year and they were like, we need a bigger booth, we need more room. And there's like 20, 25 kids up there that have been working on projects for these girls to do for weeks now. And they are going to be the most fun, the loudest, and they will have girls yelling and screaming and clapping their hands up there, and they're just a kick. They are so much fun. And it's great to see these high school kids, both boys and girls, coming in to help inspire these little girls. It's just great.
Great mentoring program.
Great mentoring, great enthusiasm. You got to go see those guys. 'Cause they're
We
wonderful.
will do that.
They even designed their own shirts.
Folks, don't go away. We're going to meet some really cool chicks in science right after this.
That's Montana. We'll be right back.
One of the chicks in science that we spoke to at the event in Billings just also happens to be the first woman president of Montana State University Bozeman. Waded Cruzado tells us what she thinks about not only higher education, but the importance of math, science, and technology to our young Montanans. Waded, Chicks in Science, Billings, Montana. Give us your reaction to it, you being the first woman president of Montana State University, but apparently an old chick in science along the way too, right?
Well, this has been a spectacular event today, and I'm so impressed by the number of people from all over Montana who showed up today to bring their sons, their daughters. It was a family day, it was a fun-filled day, and an opportunity for particularly our girls to spark their curiosity about the world that surrounds them, and an opportunity for them to think that they too can be a scientist, they too can be an engineer.
Well, coming from Montana State, science, engineering is probably the big thing there. What about women enrollment? Do you see that going up in that area?
Yes, women enrollment is going up throughout the entire state of Montana. At Montana State University, in the case of Bozeman, actually, we had some discrepancies, and we are very happy to see that the number of women are growing up. But also, actually, I'm very proud of the fact that more students, particularly more students from Montana, are declaring MSU as their university of choice. So we're growing, we're meeting the needs of our students, and that's always a great opportunity to feel very happy and proud.
Well, great. From a Bobcat, welcome to Montana, too.
Thank you. Go Cats!
Every once in a while, you meet an impressive young student. Meet Michaela Nelson, who is hobnobbed with the President of the United States. Michaela, great things that you have done, but let's talk about where some of the inspiration came from, or some of the people that have helped you along the way.
Patrick Kenny has been my mentor since my 6th grade year, which is when I initially got really involved in science, and he's helped me through everything. He's supported me, he's helped me, he's taught me. He's an amazing guy.
So what are some of the projects that you have worked on because of him?
Right now, I'm actually restoring a 1967 Volkswagen Beetle and building from scratch a 1932 Pete and Pole Sky Scout, which is an airplane.
Well, that's quite a walk from wanting to be in mechanical engineering at the Air Force Academy, but why?
Why those projects?
Yeah.
Just because I like to get I like hands-on. I'm very kinesthetic. So those projects are very hands-on, and you learn a lot. You learn about engines, you learn about how to put stuff together from scratch, you learn how to read blueprints. It's a learning experience, basically.
What was it like trying to explain what you had as a project to the President of the United States?
It was nerve-wracking. All I could think about was trying not to mess up and trying not to sound unintelligent. So.
Well, you represent us well from the state of Montana and Billings. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck in the future. And that's Montana. We'll be right back.
That's Montana. We'll be right back.
Now that you've met Michaela Nelson, we're going to introduce you to a graduate of Billings Senior High School, Dr. Catherine Russell, who has worked as an astrophysicist, but most recently now is working for the State Department with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Catherine, let's talk about overcoming adversity. The presentation you made at Chicks in Science, you talked about not liking math, maybe not necessarily being good in it, your father being a geologist, and now you have wound up in both of those fields in kind of a masterful way. Give us some inspiration. How did you do that?
How did I do it? I guess hard work is really how I did it. So I did think that math was really difficult when I was in elementary school, and I think part of it is, I think a lot of it really is my parents. You know, making me practice multiplication tables and making sure I was doing my homework. And I think I just kept persevering with that and just kept believing that I really could do it if I kept working on it. And you know, at one point the teachers tried to put me in a lower math class, and I didn't accept it. I said, no, I won't be challenged and I won't be able to learn how to do it if I do that. So I fought it and ended up in the higher math class and just kept working on it, and then had great teachers when I came to senior, and it all started to make sense. It all clicked.
Let's talk, you used the word curiosity, and I see that a lot. That's kind of what sparks a lot of scientific things. How does that work for you?
I think it just comes naturally, just being generally curious about the natural world, not really wanting to accept just what I see without understanding how it became that way. Again, I think that partly comes from my parents always showing us how things worked and making sure we were curious and taking us to museums and things like that. And I just think that it's you know, a really important part of your scientific training, and just an important part of being a human being in the world and a member of society, to stay curious and wonder how things work.
Chicks in Science version 2011, Billings, Montana. What did you see today?
Well, first I was jealous. I wish I had had that when I was a kid. This is an incredible event. It's wonderful. It's so great to see these girls excited about science. It's so great to see them curious about things. Everybody seemed like they were having a blast. It was absolutely a fantastic event. I had no idea that it existed before I was invited to come here, because obviously I don't live here anymore, and it's amazing. I want to see it happen all over the country. I think it's a wonderful example for what we should be doing for girls to interest them in science.
Give us a little bit of a legacy look down the road. Billings girl, senior high graduate, off to college, and now you're with the State Department. What next?
What's next? That's a good question. Given that I just kind of majorly switched career fields, so I went from being a planetary scientist involved in NASA missions to now being at the State Department and working on humanitarian issues with the United Nations. So because it was such a big career switch, I think I'm going to keep doing that for a while. I've only been doing it for 1.5 years. I'm hoping to keep working on humanitarian issues and food security issues, famine and hunger, and keep doing that for a while. Maybe do it with the government, maybe do it with a non-governmental organization. I'm not sure yet.
Catherine, thank you for sharing with us what a girl from Billings, Montana can do with her life in science.
Sure, thank you for having me.
When That's Montana comes back, we'll show you some of the exhibits and displays at the Chicks in Science event.
That's Montana. We'll be right back.
Now, here's some examples of what Chicks in Science is all about, showing you some of the displays and the events these young ladies took part in. Kim, what kind of legacy would you like to see this event leave behind?
Oh, you know, the legacy, wow. I've never really thought of that before. I just want girls to help other girls and other women make themselves better and change the world. We tell the girls here to learn 4 things. Be gracious, dream big, ask questions, and change the world. So that's it, go change the world. And they're not intimidated by it, they love the challenge.
Well, that puts a wrap on this episode of That's Montana. We want to thank all the Chicks in Science, the organizers and the participants for sharing with us their goals and aspirations. We want to wish all of you good luck. Visit us on our website at www.thatsmontana.com or also see us on Facebook. We'll see you next Sunday on That's Montana.